Hello everybody, welcome back for another video with Charlie's Adventures. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of kart tire mounting. Racing season's coming up and we've got some tires here, new tires that we're going to mount. I've already got one set mounted. I mounted these on camera and I was pushing the record button and I forgot the last time I used the camera. I used it to take pictures. All that footage didn't get got. But we've got it straightened out now. So I'm going to get these wheels over here. We're going to mount us a set. Alright, these wheels here are brand new. That set that I mounted a while ago, they were on a set of wheels that I just mounted tires on. The tires never did get ran. They were the Cobra tires. I bought 2 sets last year and had them on wheels, but I never did get to run them, so I broke them down and took the tires off and sold the tires to a guy. But anyway, I went over how to mount tires on a used wheel, about cleaning the bead and all that, but we'll do that. I'm sure we'll have some to do here in a little while anyway. Alright. Let me grab the 2 right sides and the left rear and we'll get out here. Alright, this is the right side tire. It's 11, 810 by 6. These are Burris SS 33A tires right here. And, most everywhere we run, that's the tires we use. And these are 2020s. They're brand new. Bought them last year. You know, because you got to have a different selection of tires, different year, date codes, and different cuts. There's a lot more to this kart tire game than anybody realizes, and it's one of the hardest things to learn, and you learn something new every day. But anyway, alright, on these wheels you've got a thick side bead and a thin side bead, and you want to turn always the thin side bead on the wheel up, and I always mount my tires with the date code right here. It says 2020 here, and then that's the date code. You always want to turn that up. That's the way I do mine. I don't think it matters because you end up flipping them anyway, but the first time I always mount my date codes to the inside. Thin side of the bead on the wheel up and the date code up, and then I just push this first bead on the wheel behind. And sometimes now when it's cold, it can be a little bit of a bear to do that. I'm just going to pull that sticker off. Okay, now this tire changing tool, Blake's one there during one of the points championship, I believe it was year before last. Hadn't never used it before. You just put this piece of plastic inside the wheel. Then you want to lean your bead of your tire to one side, and these plastic hooks right here, this side here, you put it on there, put it in and pry it back, and then spread these handles like that, and it brings the tire off. I don't know if you can see that, and I guess you can. Then this side here, you put your tire wheel beading under there, and then do it, and it mounts the tire. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm putting this down and under the lip, grabbing this pan, put it in. Give me a little room here, and then we start spreading it apart. Alright, and then flip it around. And as I pull, I'm going to push this beading under the wheel, the tire beading, and under the lip of the wheel, and pop. Simple as that. Well, I wish we'd have had one of these a long time ago. And then I'm push the tire down, let it kind of even up on the bead. And that's the way I leave these tires for several days. Probably leave them like that, you know, I don't know, until about a week before we're ready to run them, maybe 2 weeks. And what my theory is you leave them sitting on this wheel with the sidewalls pushed in, it's going to help balloon this center out after a while. It's sitting like that. So that's the reason I do that. A lot of these Burris tires, in my experience, are dipped in the middle. So I do this right here to try to take that dip out. And I think it's where they take them out of the mold hot and then they stack them up on top of each other, and it makes the centers suck in. That's one right side. Alright, let's do another one. Thin bead on the wheel up, date code up. I'm pushing the bead, bottom bead on. Alright, put that plastic piece in there. Put that under the lip of the wheel, put the pan in, start stretching it on, spin it around, pull it just a little and push it with your thumb as you're pulling. And you can see how that tire pulls up under the bead on the wheel, and another tire mounted. Just that quick. Used to, I was doing it by hand, everything manual, and I was having to push and push to get them tires on. And you know, it wasn't too bad, but it took a lot out of you, man. It was a lot of strenuous work, especially if you done several sets at a time like we do. You know, usually when I do this, I've got several sets to do. There's another right side with the date code inside. Here's a left rear. And, this is an 8.5 inch left rear. Pretty sure 8.5, and that's what we're doing right now. There's several different width wheels, and you mess with different width wheels, especially left rears, for stagger. That's what you're looking for. Alright, we got the thin lip up on the wheel, and we got the date code up on the tire. We're going to push that on. And the smaller these tires get, the harder they are to put on the wheel. Okay, now these left rears are 11 6x6. That means 11 tall, 6 wide, and a 6-inch wheel. So that's what that means. And the right sides, like I said, are 11 810 by 6. That means they're 11 tall, 8.10 inches wide, and a 6-inch wheel. Alright, we hook that up and under the bead of the wheel, put our pan in, get it started, spin it around, and just keep coming as I push that tire bead. And there it is. It's actually pretty good, man. I didn't know how that thing would work, the reason we had never had used it, and I'm thinking that we should have been using it a long time ago. But there you can see date code inside, left rear mounted on the wheel. You want to leave it sitting like that for as long as possible before we seat them out on the wheel and give that center time to bulge out. It would help if I was doing this during the hotter weather, but it's still winter time, and well, it's February 18th. But we're just trying to get a head start, because usually once it kicks off, man, I mean, it comes quick, you know. And hopefully we're just trying to get a head start. So that's a left rear mounted. I've got several 3-tire sets to mount. This set back here was a 4-tire set. A lot of times, you know, we just get 2 right sides and the left rear. Those are the ones that just mounted there. But anyway, I just wanting to go over that a little bit. And, alright, I'm going to round up some more, and alright, we've got another set here we're going to do right quick, and then I'm going to go over breaking an old tire down off the wheel. I've got 2 more right sides and 1 left rear. So we got these are brand new wheels again. We got the small lip up on the wheel, date code up on the tire. So we're just going to push him on. I used to do both beads by hand like that. I guess when you get older, you start looking for quicker, easier ways to do things. And I want to tell you, this thing right here sure has made it a lot easier. It's so easy even a caveman could do it, as they say. I guess that's the truth, because half of the time I look like a caveman. Alright, there's another one. Thin lip up on the wheel. And I always put the valve stem facing away from me. I don't know that that matters or not, but that's the way I always do it. Date code up. Thin lip on the wheel up. On there. Put the plastic piece in. Leave some room over here. Put this tool up and under the lip on the wheel. Put your pin in. Start spreading your handles apart. Do it a little bit and push the tire up under that bead. Bam. Popped right on the wheel. And I always try to even them up on that bead like that right there. That way they'll hopefully push the center of the tire out. Alright. Left rear, thin lip up, valve stem away from me, date code up. That there's wanting to be a little bare. Some of them are. Just gotta get it started. After you do a few of them, you'll get the hang of it. It being colder right now ain't helping matters none. Put them under the seat of the wheel. Pin in. Start stretching it. Keep pulling it while you push that tire bead up under the wheel. Pull your pin out. There's the left rear mounted. Okay, now we're going to go over breaking the tire down. Got my bead breaker here. I always do the deep side on the bead first. You just start spinning the tire around, pushing down on that bead. Some of them are harder than others. I have had some that I couldn't break loose. Just gave up on them. And, walk away for a little while and come back and try it again. Got the top bead down, flip it over. There we are. I'm going to break several of these down before I take them off the wheel. That way you ain't bouncing back and forth. You'll notice this one here was a little bit tougher than that first one. But got it. There's another one broke down. I've got 3 left rears here to break down and a left front. That one there was a lot easier. Usually the right sides are the harder ones because they're a wider wheel and a wider tire. 3 left rears, a left front. Again, you wide bead first. Start pushing down and turning it. Flipping over. There's the left front. Alright, I've got the thin bead up on the tire. Put my plastic piece in. And got to mash down right there. Get that tool in. Pull him up like that. I believe I've done that backwards. Sorry folks. Like I said, this is my first time using this tire tool. So I want to take time to get used to it. go. Put your pan in. Stretch him out like that. And then that second bead, you can just reach in there and push him out like that. That's another tire off the wheel. Let's try it again on the left rear. Put that in there like that. Got another pin up. Pins lined up. Wow. Man, that works better than I thought it would. Wished I'd have had that 3 or 4 years ago. Went through a lot of strenuous tire mounting doing them all manually by hand. Alright, one more time. Well, after I've done this 50 or 60 times, I'll get better at it. Pins in, push the handles apart, pull the pin out, tool out, plastic out. That one's not wanting to cooperate. Some of them are a little tougher than others. There's another one. Alright, one more right here. Practice makes perfect, I reckon. At least that's what they say. Anyway. Takes a little bit more getting used to on getting that center pin lined up to pull the beads off. Still works pretty dang good though. Alright. Got those 4 tires off the wheel just in a few minutes. Alright, I guess that'll do it for now. And, we'll be back. Yeah, that's another thing. Hang on. I'm looking for 8.5 inch left rears is what I'm looking for. That's an 8.5 right there. That's an 8.5 right there. That's an 8.5 right there. And most of all, your left fronts are 6.5. And I got some 8 3/4 left rears too. Alright, I reckon that'll do it for now. I'll come back when we're doing another step here on these tires. Alright, now when you break a wheel down, take a tire off of the wheel and you're going to reuse the wheel, you want to clean the beads. And, I always go over the beads with a wire brush. Like this right here. Here, let me do it on this side so it's pretty straightforward. You want to always clean these beads off. Nathan's got, I put some silicone on there I mounted some tires that the beads wasn't the best, and I put silicone on them just to get them to seal. That silicone won't be a problem if a little bit of it's still on there. That ain't no big deal. You just don't want debris, you know, little rocks or dirt or corrosion. These wheels, aluminum wheels, they will corrode. So you don't want any corrosion on there. You know, the less the better. Anyway, so anyway, you want to just get these beads clean before you mount another tire on that wheel. Because, like I said, having a flat out on the track sucks. It's happened to us several times. Well, so about 3 times that I remember. And then we grew wise to it, and that's the reason this silicone's on these wheels. Is the ones that we thought wasn't going to seal. I put silicone on the bead to make sure it did seal. Because some of them, whoever dismounted them, tore the beads up a little bit, and I think there's 3 or 4 of those tires that I got off that guy. They leaked around the wheel. And I believe it was Blake 2 or 3 times had a tire when he come in. You know, the cart got off during the race, and when he come in, the tire was flat. I think that happened to us about 3 times. And, you know, it sucks pretty bad if you're running up front or running good, you know, and then you have a tire go flat. So we try to avoid that now. You gotta learn from your mistakes. And that's why we use silicone if we're mounting a used tire. You know, I'll check the beads on them. If the beads look like they're tore a little bit, then that wheel's going to get silicone on it when I mount it. And if it's a new tire, don't worry about it so much, or a used tire that the bead's good on. It'll be alright. You just need to inspect your beads on your tires if you're doing used tires. That's for sure. Learned that the hard way. And a lot of these guys will flip these tires like every 2 or 3 races. They'll flip the tire on the wheel. And the tire may get dismounted and remounted, you know, 6 or 7 times in its life, maybe even more than that. But you know, you just want to make sure you get these beads clean. Sure helps the tires seat better when you're ironing it up, seating it out on the wheel. It helps it do that, and it helps it keep from leaking. This stuff's time consuming, I'll say that, you know. But I'd rather spend a little extra time here than spending a lot of time at the track, because at the track you don't have a lot of time to be dealing with flat tires and this, that, and another. You know, when you're at the track, you're hoping everything goes good and smooth, which it never does. Anyway, that right there is how you clean your wheel up to get ready to mount a tire on it. When you took a tire off, and you can see right here, all this stuff right here is what come off of these 4 wheels right here. So there's another little tip.